All right, this expression looks scary. Let's take a look at what's going on. In the numerator, I do have to subtract these, okay? And in the denominator, I have to subtract these. And once I get those two answers, I need to divide them. All right, so let's focus on the numerator first. So I have 5 over x minus 2 minus 3. And because the first one's a fraction, let's make the 3 a fraction by putting a 1 under it. So in order to subtract these, I need to have common denominators. So let's find the least common denominator. The first denominator is an x minus 2, so I know it has to have an x minus 2. And the second one is just a 1. So the least common denominator is x minus 2. So the first fraction does not need to be modified, but the second one does. In order to get a 1 to be an x minus 2, I have to multiply it by x minus 2. But if I multiply the denominator by x minus 2, I have to multiply the numerator by x minus 2. All right, so when I subtract these, the denominator is going to stay the same, x minus 2. And my numerator, let's take a look. I have 5 minus 3 times x minus 2. So let's write that. 5 minus 3 times quantity x minus 2. So we do need to distribute in the numerator. So I would have 5 and then distribute this negative 3 to both terms. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. So finally, when I combine my like terms in the numerator, 5 plus 6 is 11, so I would have 11 minus 3x. So far in the numerator, I have 11 minus 3x all over x minus 2. Okay, now let's take a look at the denominator. All right, so my denominator is 6, and I'm going to make that a fraction by putting a 1 under it, minus 4 over x minus 2. So again, to subtract these, we have to find a common denominator, and just like the previous, if one of the denominators is 1, then the least common denominator would be the other denominator, which is x minus 2. So I have to multiply this by x minus 2, and therefore I have to multiply my numerator by x minus 2. All right, so when I subtract these, the denominator will stay the same. And let's take a look at what's in my numerator. I have 6 times quantity x minus 2 minus 4. So let's write that in the numerator. 6 times x minus 2 and then minus 4. All right, so I do need to distribute the 6 to both terms, right? So 6 times x is 6x. And 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, and then I have minus 4. So I can combine my like terms in the numerator again. I have negative 12 minus 4 more, which is negative 16. So my numerator is 6x minus 16. All right, so let's rewrite that up here. So I have 6x minus 16 all over x minus 2. And again, these are being divided, right? So I'm going to take this now, and let's actually rewrite that. So I have 11 minus 3x all over x minus 2, and that's being divided by, all I'm doing is changing this division symbol to this one, divided by 6x minus 16 all over x minus 2. Now, when you divide fractions, it's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So let's rewrite this. I have 11 minus 3x over x minus 2, and instead of dividing, I'm multiplying by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So in the numerator, now I have the x minus 2, and the denominator is the 6x minus 16. So when I multiply these, since all parts are factored already, I'm checking to see before I multiply straight across if there's any matching factor in the numerator and denominator position, and there is. X minus 2 over x minus 2 simplifies as 1. So now if I multiply straight across, I'm just left with 11 minus 3x in the numerator, and then the 6x minus 16 in the denominator. So that's my final simplified answer.